The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. And finally, you'll get a free recorded audio training that will install unbelievable attitudes for success and wipe out any limiting beliefs. So if you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Welcome to the Influencer's Edge. This is the place where you come to get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques to leapfrog over the pack in sales, persuasion, and influence. Be sure you visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, tune in, and enjoy today's episode. All right, welcome to the Influencer's Edge podcast. Our guest today blew me away when I saw his marketing and advertising on Instagram. In fact, before I even, for those of you who can see, this is his ad on Instagram that caught my attention. We're going to talk about this puppy because you must be raking in the dollars from that. His name is Cody May. Cody, welcome to the Influencer's Edge.
Thanks for having me, man. Really pumped to chat today.
Yeah, me too. So Cody, I'm just going to go through your biography very quickly because I want to talk to the man, not read the biography. Cody is an expert at paid advertising, I believe you are, sales and communications, and coaches entrepreneurs and real estate agents on those topics. He's also the CEO of the marketing agency Sheridan Street, co-author of the Amazon best-selling book, What If You Could? I love that title. Let's explore that title just for a second before we dive deeper down into the biography. What is the premise of that? What if you could?
Yeah, so I wrote that with one of my old business partners in my previous company. We had a company called Studio PTBO, and during the pandemic, we, like there's so much going on, and it's hard to believe that was only 2 years ago. Like some people got out of that a year and a half ago. We really wrote the book around like just doing things that you love. Like, what if you could like wake up and travel the world? Like, what if you could wake up and just start the business that you wanted to create? What if you could wake up and, make a life for yourself? It was really based around like opportunities are endless. It's just a matter of whether we want to take the opportunities or whether we want to take the risk in life. And it's like the subtitle to the book is called The Mindset and Business Blueprint for Your Life of Purpose. So it was really based around like, I really believe that business is a spiritual game. Business is a practical game. It's a logistical game, and it's really a game. So it's like we talked about the principles towards life. Yeah.
Pause just a second because you're dropping gold. I told you before we went on the air, I'm not going to let you get away with dropping gold without stopping you. So it's a spiritual game.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. In what way is it a spiritual game?
I think that, entrepreneurs get into business for one of 3 reasons. It's either more money, more meaning, or more freedom. And that I think that, the deeper I've gone into, studying some of the most wealthy entrepreneurs on this planet, and, a lot of them I have the opportunity now call friends. Wow. Something that I've learned along the way is that there is this like corresponding energy that they just have that allows them to attract money into their lives, that allows them to have a larger impact. And, some might call that woo woo. And in the beginning, I thought it was woo woo as well, but it's hard to explain, but it's like, like your relationship with money, your relationship with your business, it's all intertwined into like who we are as a human being. That's kind of like, I guess like would be my answer to that question is like business is a spiritual game. It's emotional some days. It is and it's emotional, like some days, and some days it's great, and some days it's good. Some days you're at the top of the world, and some days you're at the bottom. It's a very spiritual essence that business plays into life.
Now, you're obviously a successful guy. You wouldn't be able to run these Instagram ads and do all that if you didn't have a budget. But what I want to know is this emotional side of business. I feel this so deeply. I connect with it so deeply. And I think if people, this show is not about my opinions, but about yours, but I'd like you to speak into this. I think if entrepreneurs can't emotionally regulate, if they let the events of the day block their vision, they're in trouble. So I will put this question to you. You coach a lot of people, a lot of very successful people, and you really get them results. How would you take a client, if you do, who's got those emotional roller coasters, and show them how to handle that, how to regulate that?
Like I literally got chills down my spine as you asked that question, because I think
I'm a good,
that,
I'm a good interviewer.
Yeah, no, you're great. Right now in the marketplace that we're facing currently in real estate, most markets in the US are down 32% transaction volume. Wow. So with that said, it's a very emotional time for real estate agents, for real estate teams, for people in the real estate space, because they're facing a bloodbath in comparison to, last year. So and some are winning and some aren't. And there's a lot of people leaving the real estate space, and there's a lot of people that are winning, that are taking market share right now. I think that the emotional regulation around business is like, if you can shift your mindset towards like, I'm not just in this for 1, 2, 3 years, but I'm in this for life. And I just keep playing the game of business. People that come into our ecosystem, I try to get them to shift their perspective towards the game of business is a game. It's a like you how do you stay in business? You stay in business. Like how do you build a business? You stay in business. And I think that from an emotional perspective, like one of the best pieces of advice I had was from a mentor. He said to me, don't let the highs get too high and don't let the lows get too low. And there is a element behind business where it's like 1 minute you feel like you're on the top of the world, the next minute you feel like you're at and we've all faced that. And I feel like there's a collective consciousness that's happening where entrepreneurs, like we're in this season right now where, like, 5 years ago, everyone was like bro scaling. Everyone was talking about like grow scale, where now people are slowing down right now a little bit and saying, okay, I just want to create a business that I love. And I think that if you start there and you start with like, what do I actually want versus like, there's so much great information out there. But if like you really start with you as the entrepreneur, it's like, what do I really want? I really think that allows you to not have to grow into the business you love, but create the business you love now. And I think that allows you to emotionally regulate a lot better, where I think that a lot of people have created things that they never wanted to create in the first place. And I think if you get really, really clear on what you want, and I've gone through this myself, we had at the beginning of the year, we had a staff of over 32 people. We're down to 17. And that's for no other reason other than I was trying to build something that I thought I needed. And now, transparently, like I'm a lot happier. I have, like, we've simplified our processes, we've simplified our systems, and now I'm finally, creating the business I love. And I think that some people are so afraid to go backwards in order to go forwards that I've never been like that. I've never been the person that's like afraid to go back. I'll go backwards. I'll go live like, with 4 people, if I have to, in order to allow my business to thrive. And I think that there's a different focus that I have.
You see, we're not even in through the biography. And this is what I love. I love these kind of open-hearted, raw conversations. This whole idea that you're willing to go backwards. The word for me that stands out is willing. That willingness is so, a lot of people think business is about will. You're going to power your way through, but that's true. That willingness to do things. Do you think that willingness can be taught, or is that, let me back up and make it more personal. Where did you get that willingness? Did you model someone? Did you have a role model, or was that always just in your spirit? That spark was always Cody.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think that, anyone I've coached with, I've had the opportunity to coach with Taki Moore. My current mentor is Sharon Srivatsa, who is like become a very, very good friend. He's the current president of Real Brokers, fastest growing real estate, brokerage in the United States and in Canada. I think an element of it is modeling their behavior, and kind of seeing how they interact with people and seeing how they kind of handle stresses. But I think that the other element is like, some people don't know about this about me, but like my career path prior, like I spent 10 years in the telecom industry managing teams, but prior to that, I was studying like to become a pastor. I was studying to,
Really?
like I was going to go into the ministry. That was what I felt like my calling, I guess you could say, was in life, was to help people. And I think that side of me, and that like when I was growing up, like of like wanting to help people, kind of translated into business, where it's like, if I can just like have a large impact on somebody's life. And like it used to be for me, I wanted to be really big, but like through modeling other people, it's like it's really hard to go really big without going really deep with the people that are around you. And that's something I'm learning as of late, where it's like, for me, like when I was in my church phase, it's like stadiums and wanting to help a large amount of people, where now I'm in this season of my life where I'm like, if I can just have a really large impact on the 50 to 100 people that are in my ecosystem, that matters more to me than, like packing out stadiums. And things change and life changes. And like to answer your question is like, it's a little bit of modeling, and it's a little bit of like, my upbringing and the growth that I experienced in my teenage years.
That's a tremendous crossover, no pun intended, that you were able to take your, no pun intended, really, that you were able to take your religious faith and then find it as that skill of having faith is something that you can apply practically in your life. That's a wonderful gift. Let's move on through the biography. You see, this is the way I love to do things. I like to have heart to heart. We'll get into the tech of what you do, but I almost never ask the questions that the interviewee submits. I just don't like to do it that way. You've been featured on different shows, blah, 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 blah. We don't care.
Yeah.
We want to talk to you. So let's talk about effective communication with online leads. And one of the things I want to ask you about specifically, one of the things that I teach my VIP clients, and I work with companies like yours, but that's to the side, is keeping people's focus nowadays is just so difficult, because we have this thing here. This is the very tool you use. And I found you, young man, through scrolling Instagram. Your ad popped up and that grabbed me like, holy shit. Let's address that. How do you effectively market with leads? How do you do that lead-based marketing online when people have zero attention span? What is the secret sauce to do that, Cody?
Secret sauce. I wish there was a secret sauce. I wish there was like a one size fits all answer to every single thing. Cause I think fundamentally, if we can go up to the fundamentals of marketing, it really is this. And I say this to all of our clients. I say this to anyone in our ecosystem. Everything works. It just all takes time, skill, and volume. So, what a lot of people don't understand is that I spent millions of dollars in advertising.
I'm taking notes here. Yeah. I'm actually literally taking notes, which I never do. Time, skill, volume. I love it.
It all works. And because we work in an industry that, in real estate, if anyone's ever worked in real estate knows that for the most part, I understand probably a real estate agent better than they understand themselves. So it's like, we often blame the lead when in all actuality, it's our inability to communicate our value proposition, our inability to communicate what we can do for them and how we can solve their problems. And I think that, you can do that in advertising. You can educate people based on advertising. Something that we've learned along the way is like, there's something that my mentor Sharon has said to me that really stuck out to me this year. He said that our ability to allow people to build relationships with us is really built on time on brand. And that's something that I've been really like focused on as of late. It's like, if I can get somebody to watch a 10, 20, 30, 40-minute video prior to showing up to a sales call, they already know me. They already
Right.
might potentially trust me. And this is why podcasts like what you're doing here are so powerful, because we're going to
Yeah.
spend the next, 30 minutes together. You're really diving into my story, and really diving into your, into your story. And this is why podcasts can be so powerful as an opportunity to spend more time on brand. So like when we're talking about communication, this is why podcasts, this is why short form content, this is why, running ads is so powerful. And I think so many people do, like they try it, where it's like, I've been running ads for 6 years. So for me, it's like, I just fundamentally believe that ads work, and they do work. It's just, but what they don't see is the millions of dollars of advertising spend that we've spent for ourselves and for our clients over the course of the last 5 years. They don't see that. So that's the time, that's the skill, and that's the volume. It takes time in order to build anything, just like it would take time to get 6-pack abs. Like I wouldn't get those, like for me to get 6-pack abs, it would probably take me a year or 2 years in order to do that.
I would not be able
skill
to,
and volume.
my life would be over by the time I had
Yeah,
those.
exactly. So again, some people can do it and some people can't. And that's really, at the end of the day, marketing. That just is what it is. Some people are great at sales. Some people suck at sales. Some people are great at marketing, and some people are great at marketing. Some people are great at door knocking. Other people suck at it. And it's just like, it's not the channel. It's not the medium. It's you. And people just don't want to accept the fact that it's them.
What's the distinction in your mind between marketing and sales? Because I thought I knew, and then I took a course by name. We got to get on the show. His name is Joel Irway. I don't know if you've heard of Joel.
I've heard his name. Yeah, I've heard his name before.
Yeah, he's got a great course. So what is the distinction in your mind between marketing and sales?
Everyone has their own definition of marketing and sales. And I think that, I think that they can blend together. But I think that they're very different at the same time. Like marketing is an explanation of your value proposition. So oftentimes marketing will be done in a one-to-many environment. And generally sales is done in like a one-to-one environment. Generally like marketing, so marketing people often hate salespeople, and salespeople oftentimes hate marketing people, because marketers will tend to, and like in the context of marketing, there's different, in my opinion, there's different elements of marketing. There's branding, which is different than direct response sales, or direct response marketing, which is technically closer to sales. So I would say that direct response marketing can be a form of sales. But a lot of times, depending on what you're selling, for us, for example, we have our marketing channel, and then we take them to a sales call. And then that sales call would be like, digging deeper into the client's pains, their needs, their wants, if we can solve their problem. But marketing is really, marketing fuels sales. And marketing, if the better your marketing, the easier your sale will be. Yeah. So they play into each other. And then there's branding. There's great direct response marketing copywriters, Gary Halberts.
I learned from Gary. Gary was my mentor. I literally sat at his feet. He thought it was, he loved my copywriting and my marketing, but he thought I was a con, but he loved my marketing.
But Gary, you were a con. So that's another story, Gary Halbert, but genius copywriter. Genius copywriter.
All my copy is based on Gary.
Yeah. The Boron Letters. I love that book. The Boron Letters was what I tell all of our clients. I'm like, if there's one skill that you can learn, it's the art of copywriting. When you learn the art of copywriting, and I'm not the best copywriter, but I understand the principles of human psychology. I always say to our clients, I'm like, there's 2 books that everybody should read. It's the Boron Letters. Yes. And it's Breakthrough Advertising by Eugene Schwartz. 2 of the best books you'll read on copywriting.
Gary learned a lot from Eugene.
Yeah. So they're just amazing. And that's really marketing and sales. But it's a skill. It's a skill. It takes time to learn. And
took me 30 years. I actually I got to interject this as part of the conversation. I started my career teaching men how to do pickup and seduction. That's how I got my training in sales. And I got on every TV show back then by writing one ad. It said, "Women hate nice guys," says sex book author. Boom. That was the title.
Yeah.
And every talk show producer called me. I spent $500 to get millions of dollars of publicity But so I love that. How much of what you do when you work with clients is done for them and how much is done with them? So let's say someone comes to you and hires you and wants your team to coach them or train them. How much of it is you create everything and how much of it is that you teach them? How does your agency work with your clientele?
Yeah, so we are a done for you model. Like really at the end of the day, we do everything for them. In the real estate space, I have private clients that I work with as well that generally is more of it on a done with you basis. We might run some ads for them, and like it's kind of a mix. So in the real estate space specifically, because the buying cycle of a prospect is so long, when we work with clients, we generally we'll do the ads, we will do the nurture, we will do the calling. So I have a call center, and like I help, I help agents and I help teams actually place call center agents. So we do the calling and we do the handoff. So we do everything up until
how many people in your call center? How many people are you managing there?
14 of us right now, 14 or 15 of us. Yeah, it's a good sized team. So we've invested into a lot of tech that has helped us drop the amount of agents that we need in the call center. So we use a program called Vici Dial that allows, it's like a lot of people are using 3-line dialers. Like it's like a 7 to 8 to 9 line dialer. So we're making like 10 to 20 to 30,000 calls a day.
I know what Vici is. I know what Vici is. There's a guy called YouTube Scammer Payback. Have you ever seen the Scammer Payback channel?
I haven't. No,
this guy, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like I'm talking to a friend now. So we're just going to.
Let's jam.
Well, let's jam. So this guy, it's called Scammer Payback. His whole thing is getting into Indian call centers, hacking into their computers, taking control of their webcams. And he'll even say, oh, you're using what did you call the system?
Vici.
Yeah, Vici. You're using Vici to make your calls today, aren't you? No, sir, we are not. This is John from the call center on this side.
Yeah, sure.
He nails them. So I recognize Vici when you said it.
It's an open source system. It's like one of the best call programs you can use. So that's what we're using in our call center. And then obviously it's all backed by a carrier. But yeah, no, it's a great program, and like we've been able to cut down the headcount in our call center in order to do that. And then like we have some clients that hire us in order to help them build out their call centers as well. So we'll help them do that. Wow. But it's primarily for us. It's done for you, and the done with you is like we do coaching, like we do role playing coaching sessions with our clients. They have access to that. And then if they want to go deeper on the sales side, and this is like where it's funny, we're talking about marketing and we're talking sales, like in the real estate space, like whether you're a real estate team, a real estate broker, a real estate agent, like you're selling yourself. So it's like we have a partnership agency that we work with. So one of my good friends runs a company called the Real Estate Sales Academy. And if an agent or a team wants to go deeper on like the art of communication,
I think I've heard of who it is. Tell me the name.
Vikram Deal. Yeah, Vikram Deal.
Say his name again.
Vikram Deal.
Vikram Deal.
Deal. DEOL.
DEOL.
Yeah. Great. So he's a partner agency of ours, and then like we'll refer. So he does a lot of our coaching sessions, and then we'll refer people to his partner. Like if they're like, hey, like we're like the coaching sessions that we do. Generally, we do bi-weekly coaching sessions, but his like he's a sales agency that they just focus on sales training for real estate agents, and like they do like 3 calls a week of like scripting, role playing. So we generally will send people that want to go deeper into sales with him, and it's just like he talks about tonality and psychology and all the things that actually matter, that actually make clients in a 2023 environment convert to like leads convert to a client. So he's great. He's become a really good friend of mine, and we've had the opportunity to
I'd love to get him on my show if you could arrange an introduction.
I 100% will. He's like we have a podcast together. So
oh, you do?
Yeah. So he's the co-host for our podcast. So,
I would love to come on your show if you will have me. I would love
to have you on. 100%. We'll definitely get you on.
Fantastic. Cody, as you can see, we didn't ask any of the questions. We didn't even finish really the biography. Yeah. This is my ideal interview, when I can have a conversation with someone and we have a rapport like we're friends. You've been a marvelous guest. Now, other than these amazing I'm gonna say it, fucking ads. Did you design that? Who did the design of that ad?
I build all our ads. I build them all. Yeah. I build them like an actual like a sales copy letter. Like, that's what converts the best. So all the ads I design myself.
I'm going to read this. Make sure your sound is turned on. Please wait for video to fully load. Just uncover the secrets of more real estate appointments. We help you get appointments, live transfers, and person showings with our dedicated appointment engine. I love that. Dedicated appointment engine. That was yours, right?
That's all ours. Yeah, we call that in marketing. We call that a unique mechanism.
Unique selling proposition. Brilliant. 100%. Cody, stay on the line with me for like 5 more minutes. I'd love to talk to you more. Cody May has been one of the best guests we've ever had on the Influencer's Edge. Hopefully we'll have you back again sometime.
I would love to.
You see, sometimes we go beyond excellent and we go into the stratosphere. Cody's been one of those guests. Cody, stay on with me. Thanks for tuning into the Influencer's Edge.
The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. And finally, you'll get a free recorded audio training that will install unbelievable attitudes for success and wipe out any limiting beliefs. So if you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Thank you for tuning in to the Influencer's Edge, where you get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques so you can leapfrog over the pack in sales, influence, and persuasion. Remember to visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com to enjoy even more great episodes like this one. We look forward to seeing you again on the Influencer's Edge Show.